I'm currently in Ghent, Brittany, France, visiting my family. And as you know, I've been documenting my entire journey, growing my Instagram from zero to almost 300,000 followers. And now I'm trying to grow in this YouTube channel. And it's a completely different game. So I decided to document this entire process to show you how I create this YouTube video while I'm traveling through France. I'll show you my planning process, the simple shooting setup, and even editing on the go. This isn't about being perfect, it's about creating a system that will work for you while you enjoy your traveling experience. But the best part is that you don't have to just use it while you're traveling. You can use this exact system on your day-to-day life if you have a full-time job or if you're really busy at your work but you still want to create content consistently. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kian and I'm a videographer and content creator. I've grown my Instagram to almost 300,000 followers just by sharing tips and tricks on videography and social media growth strategies. But I realized that YouTube is a completely different platform and it requires a different approach. In this video, I will break down this three-part system that I use to create this video: the planning, the shooting, and the editing. And don't worry if you're just starting out. This system is designed to be simple enough so that anyone can use it, even if you're brand new to YouTube or you're traveling with a limited gear. Let me show you how I plan this video even before I pick up my camera. So I recently discovered Taylor Bell and I kind of like her content, vlog style, but very effective. So I decided to study her approach and then combine it with what I learned from YouTube masterclass from John Yusei. John Yusei. Hopefully I say his name right. One tool that is kind of a game changer for me for scripting is Poppy AI. I kind of like Taylor's videos, so all I gotta do is put a bunch of Taylor's video into a group and then connect them all to a chat box. I asked Poppy to understand her style, analyze her content, ask about how many sentences before she switched scene or how many locations she used in each videos, and then I connected the exact same chat box into a library of my own content where I put a lot of my YouTube video, my Instagram video in there and asked the chat box to understand my style as well. I also connected the chat box to YouTube Masterclass and then I asked Poppy to learn from the Masterclass and help me generate ideas and script outline based on these references. What's amazing is that it learns from this creator's style and still keep my voice authentic. And it's like having a content strategist in your pocket. This is extremely helpful when you're traveling because you don't have time to overthink every video idea. The next step is to plan filming location. I noticed on Taylor videos, she used at least 4 to 8 different locations while filming. This makes the visual interest high without making the filming process too complicated, which is perfect for traveling video because you're already visiting a lot of interesting places. The key is you have to plan to say what part of the pitch in which location. You can easily organize a script using this prompt. For this video, I plan to shoot at a cafe, at my sister's apartment, at the historic church, and then at Parc du Tabor, which is this beautiful garden in the heart of Ghent. Having a mix of indoor and outdoor locations gives the video the visual variety. Now for the scripting, I don't write out every single word because it would make me sound kind of robotic, but I would write down every point at each location. So when I go there, I cover whatever I needed to get done. The key is to know your main point, but also explain it as you explain to a friend. This keeps the delivery natural, but also helps you not to forget any important point. I also plan which point I'll cover at which location, so I know exactly what to film where. Let's talk about the gear I'm using. Although I love my camera, I noticed that when I'm traveling, I want to keep everything super simple. So on this trip, I have 3 different options that I use depending on the situation. For more controlled indoor shots, like in my sister's apartment, I'll just use a very simple setup but with my camera and the tripod. This gives me the best quality for talking head shots where I'm explaining the concepts in detail. But I keep the setup minimal, just the camera, tripod, maybe the light and the microphone. Now in this shot, I actually just use the window lights, so it's very simple and quick. My shooting strategy is pretty straightforward. When I'm outdoor like this, I like to use the DJI Pocket 3 like I'm shooting right now. And because I don't want to bring my big camera looking like a tourist and showing up everywhere, instead I want to kind of blend in just a little bit and capture some of the authentic moments. For the shot at this park though, I use my Sony a7S III. I actually bring the camera out here with the tripod because we live really close to this park and it just makes sense to use it here. And sometimes, honestly, I just use my iPhone when I try to shoot something very quick or something very discreet. And the quality of the iPhone these days is more than enough for most of the YouTube video content. One thing I've learned from successful YouTube videos is that the audio quality a lot of time is way more important than video quality. People will watch slightly lower quality video, but they will click away from bad audio immediately. This is especially true when you're traveling, when you're dealing with unpredictable environments. For this kind of videos, I'm also using the DJI Mic 2, which has a 32-bit float. That means even if you are too loud, it's not gonna clip the video. For the outdoor shots like this in this park, I use a screen so then it's protect from the wind and make the quality a little bit better. These small details make a huge difference in the final delivery. When I'm walking around different locations, I also try to shoot a bit of B-rolls of myself walking or doing some fun stuff. Just 30 seconds extra of the footage will help my editor when he wants to be a little bit more creative or making more transition between each talking point. Sometimes if I have time, I quickly scan around the area and find 3 to 5 fun elements to shoot with. Now let's talk about editing. Since I'm traveling, I've developed a cloud-based workflow that allows me to collaborate with editors all around the world. At the end of the day, I uploaded all of my footage to Google Drive. This serves two purposes. It backs up my content in case something happened to my memory cards, but it also allows my editor to start working on the footage even when I'm traveling. I organize my footage by day and by location to make it easier for us to find what we need. This simple organization saves us hours of our time trying to find footage later on. I also include notes about which clips I think work best, so that the editor have a better starting point. This workflows means we can work across different time zones without any issues. I also do editing myself during what I call dead time, like on planes or when I'm jet lagged and wake up super early. Let me show you how this works. So I start my editing on my laptop. My editors from all around the world, they can access and make changes, and then it's sync back to my project. Anytime I open up Capcut, I can edit and make changes again. This means that we can work on the same project without sending files back and forth. The interface is simple enough so that I can edit even when I'm tired from traveling. And it's powerful enough to create professional looking video. I found that editing a little bit each day is a lot better than trying to do it all at once. My typical workflow is that I'll do the first rough cut to establish the structure and the pacing of the video. Then my editor will refine it and add B-rolls and visual elements. This collaboration is key because that means that I don't have to spend my entire time here editing. I can actually focus on experience the traveling while still creating content about them. And because we've been working together for a while, my editor knows my style and he can make the decision if I'm not available. So that's my simple system that I use to make YouTube while I'm traveling. To recap, I plan my content using AI tools and location mapping even before I start filming. I keep my equipment minimal and appropriate for each situation. And I use a cloud-based editing workflow so then I can collaborate with my video editor. The most important thing I've learned is that you don't need to have a perfect system or a very complicated process. What matters is having a system to let you create consistently without sacrificing your travel experience. I'm still learning and refining this process with every video I make. YouTube is definitely different than Instagram, but I'm enjoying this journey and the process of trying to mastering the new platform. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to get more content about video editing and social media growth. And let me know in the comments what do you want me to cover next. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, check out this one as well.